Can't get any words. Podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse Podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse Podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all having a splendid Tuesday. Sorry, I've given myself the giggles straight off the bat because I just got, a minute or so into the episode and I'm like, fuck, I didn't run my audio cable for when we watch videos later. I didn't turn the lights on, so I was sitting here in darkness and my camera was slightly on the piss. But hey, that just sums up the Can't Get Any Worse podcast, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in. Thank you for joining me again for what is another week of the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. What the fuck was that intro? I don't even know what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. It is an absolute shambles around here. I'm on the I've got my guard up, you know what I mean? It's been a crazy morning here. My phone hasn't blown up this much in a little while, and we will get to it, ladies and gentlemen. There has been a call out in the podcasting world that, the main man here might feature in, but we're going to get to it. Straight off the bat, we've hit a milestone, ladies and gentlemen. We've hit another milestone for the podcast. We're at episode 150. Round of applause. Thank you very much. Not many people thought we were going to make it to like episode 10, and I just don't think you guys understood how retarded my brain is. And I just show up every week and just do this for myself. So I appreciate everyone that does listen. I appreciate everyone that shared it as of late. Like I said, we seem to be in some sort of slow and steady come up at the moment, which I'm fucking absolutely loving and appreciative of everyone that is sharing the podcast. But yeah, I wanted to try and do something a little bit special for the episode. Tried to get the OG members back together, the OG Wiggles, Ash and Adrian. And look, the podcast has been all over the shop lately. Look, my hand is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. My hand is up. I will take 1/3 of the responsibility for 150 not being the cracking episode that you guys deserved, with the three of us sitting in here just shooting the shit for an hour. The podcast has been everywhere with the UFC breakdowns, the podcast Royale breakdown that I did with the boys, the couple of guest episodes thrown in here and there. So it was hard to pinpoint an exact date as to when 150 would land. So that's my bad. That's where I put my hand up. I go, I am sorry, guys. That's on me. That's my bad. Now, this is where I'm hoping Ash and Adrian are sitting in their cars or at their desk right now, and now they've put their hands up and they've got, you know, that South Park moment where all the kids are like, I broke the dam, and then everyone stands up for each other. Eventually the whole town just goes, I broke the dam. And then Kyle gets a little bit upset because he's like, no, I literally broke the dam. I'm Kyle in this situation, by the way. Now, hopefully Ash and Adrian are sitting there going, you know what? We're a little bit to blame as well, because James has given us, 2 to 3 weeks notice saying, hey, you guys suss out a date that works for you too. And come down and record a podcast. Now, in all fairness, there was a period, not last weekend, the weekend before, where Ash texted us the day before. He's like, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm actually like 2 minutes from your house on Saturday. We should sit together and do a podcast. Now, I had Westie's basketball organised. I had some other bits and pieces organised, and I just did not have enough time to mentally prepare for what should have been the piece of, what's that word? Piece of resistance? I don't know. Fucking, you know what I'm trying to say. But that just ended up fizzling out. And I was like, surely we can make it work again before now. But I was incorrect. But it will come. Ash and Adrian will be on an episode in the next, Hey, Ash and Adrian, let's put a timeline on it. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, there will be a Thursday episode featuring Ash and Adrian of just the three of us getting completely fucked up and just going back to episode 1 where this all originated and just talking some completely outrageous shit. There is some outrageous shit to discuss with those boys as of late, like the whole pyramid thing. We could get deep in that. The dire wolves coming back from extinction. I'm sure scientific Adrian has got a lot to say about that. What else is happening? Oh, we all know Ash is obsessed with Trump and politics. There's been a lot going on there. So, and then just my stupid brain butting in going, hey guys, I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but I don't know, insert weird topic. But let's rip into what should be the episode, guys. Look, again, it would not be the OG Can't Get Any Worse podcast unless I've had the morning that I've had, okay? I had to begin my morning cabinet making. That's right. My most hated thing in the world, I had to go and do. I had to go and do a warranty claim for what was missing interiors. Now, if it was anyone else, I probably would have gone, oh, sorry, Missing Interiors has closed its doors. Here's some recommendations and send them Ash's number. Then he would have to go fix my fuck-ups, which I've been doing a lot of fixing his fuck-ups as of late. We will not go into it. We might save that for when he comes in. But I had to go do a warranty claim. It's for an old friend, so wanted to keep the peace, yada, yada, yada. And it was easy enough for me. It was a defect from the supplier of a pull-out mechanism thing. So for me, it was literally just call the supplier, go, hey, I need a new one of this because you guys are dog shit. They sent me a new one. I drove to site, undid 4 screws, put 4 screws back in. Bingo, bango, done. I am home by, what is the time? It is currently 10 to 9. So, I mean, I don't want to say I've had the hardest morning in the world to go and undo 4 screws and put them back in and now sit down and shoot the shit for an hour. But, guys, I'm working hard. I've got the sweatiest back in the business right now. And so I cap all that up. I get home and I'm like, okay, let's rip into what is going to be quite possibly the best podcast episode of the week. Especially from the Can't Get Any Worse podcast because it's a single release episode this week. No double up. Anyway, I get home, I hit record, I start the episode, and I hear this monstrous roar on the left-hand side of the studio. Is that left? Yeah, fuck, my brain just tripped out. Left-hand side of the studio here, the council has decided to come and mow. During my designated podcasting period again, I need to send the council an email and just go, hey guys, Mondays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., you can't come and mow. That is designated podcasting time. You guys need to respect the system. I don't come around and while you guys are trying to work out how to make a new road and just drive my car up and down it, do I? No, we need to have a little bit of respect for each other. While you're on it, could you go halves with me in this side fence that is currently falling apart? Thank you. See, guys, we can all come to an agreement together. We just need to work together. But they're gone now. Cabinet making is done. Ash and Adrian aren't here. Let's rip into what has been my week. The week that was. Let me take a little sippy susu first. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, last week's episode, if you guys listened, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, not the podcast, not the UFC breakdown, the usual solo one, go give it a listen. Basically had my youngest son P home from daycare last week because he woke up, he had a bit of a puffy eye. And at that time, we were all laughing about it. We're like, oh, you look a bit silly, P. And then I record the podcast. The whole day, he's relatively sweet. And it has ups and downs, right? His eye starts to look a little bit worse, but then it comes back down. And I'm like, So I'm playing it by ear. I'm like, it doesn't seem like a hospital visit or anything like that. So Nikita and I book a doctor's appointment because we're like, oh, we'll just go to his normal GP, see what they have to say. If they say go to hospital, then sure. So that was at 3 o'clock or something, that appointment. We get to about 2 o'clock and his eye is swollen shut and his entire left-hand side of his face, like cheek, fucking chin, everything, blew up like a balloon, just the one side of his face. And I'm like, all right, I 100% know. Well, A, I don't think he can wait to go to the GP. I think we have to do something now. And B, I guarantee if I go sit at the GP, who is 110% going to be 40 minutes late because he always is, he's going to look at it for 3 seconds and go, oh, you need to go up to the hospital. So I was like, I'm going to skip that whole process, drive him up to the hospital. Nikita met us there. And P proceeded to spend the next, how long? So that was Monday. And he was in and out of hospital up until Friday, just with them them letting us go, would come home for a few hours and it would just fucking blow the fuck back up. And yeah, they ended up discharging us, and I didn't even know this was a thing these days. It's crazy how modern medicine is, but there's such thing as like a home hospital or some shit. Like basically the children's hospital, they discharged him and then they come and do home visits and basically hook him up to an IV drip and all that sort of shit in your own house, just so it frees up beds and stuff like that at hospital, which I guess isn't a bad idea. Like P felt way more comfortable here than he did at hospital, frees up the beds for kids that like actually need it. And yeah, I don't know, but they came, and that particular day he was sweet. I was almost back to normal. The swelling had gone down. He was running around being crazy while the doctor was here. So they go, oh, there's no need for us to keep treatment going. This was on like Tuesday or Wednesday. And as soon as the doctor left, like an hour or two later, bang, I blew back up. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. And yeah, it was so bad that I did not, look, I know this is not a great thing to say, okay? But I did not want to take him out in public. Now, I 100%... I don't know. I just didn't want to take him in public. It looked like I was beating my kid, okay? There's no way to tiptoe around it. It looked like I just looked at my 4-year-old, punched him as hard as I could in the eyeball. Now, there's only one person in the world that I would punch hard in the eyeball at the moment. That is a fellow podcaster / comedian, if doing 3 gigs a year makes you a comedian. But hey, we will get to it. We're not getting to that right now. But yes, there was one moment on like Wednesday, his face was swollen again, okay? And I go, oh, I got to go to Bunnings and get a couple of things. And P goes, I want to come. And I'm like, no, I don't think you should. I think you should stay here with Mum. And he's like, no, I want to come. Nikita's like, it would be nice for him to get out of the house. And I'm like, fuck. So I take him to Bunnings, and just the looks that parents were giving me. And luckily, I don't even know how to say this properly. I don't know if that's the right way, but I guess I was fortunate is probably a better word. I felt for anyone that does have a child with a genuine disability, that the looks and stuff like that they must get in public. Like I said to Nikita, a perfect representation of what P's face looked like is there was a movie that Owen Wilson was in like probably 10 years ago now, but their son had like a deformed face. And just watching that movie and seeing the struggles that a family would have to go through and all that. And it was actually a super sweet movie. I forget the name of it, but you guys will know it if you are familiar with movies, unlike me. But yeah, we made it through Bunnings. We're getting all the looks, and I'm like, fuck. We go to the counter, and I'm like, okay, couple more seconds and we're out of here. Now, I would never do this, and I did not know that there were people in the world that would actually do this, but the Bunnings lady that was not checking me out, that sounds weird, at the checkout chick at Bunnings, she's scanning all my stuff, and she looks down at P, and he looks up at her, and like, to me, he's still like the cutest kid in the world, okay? He's got this swollen, puffy face, and he's trying to be happy, and she just goes, oh my God, what happened to your face? And I've just like jaw dropped. Like obviously it wasn't a serious thing for us. Like I'm like, oh, it's just a temporary thing. But I'm like, holy shit, I would never look at someone's kid and just be like, oh my God, what's up with your face? Like that is outrageous. Luckily, I was just like P is shy as fuck in any situation, so he didn't answer her. But obviously, it probably crushed his little heart inside. He sort of nuzzled back behind me, and I've gone, oh, he has an allergic reaction to a bite, which I don't even know if I said that off the start. We still don't know what it was. He's actually got I got to pick him up from kindy early today, take him back to the doctor for like final clearance. So he's pretty well back to normal now. Still a little bit of swelling in his hand and shit, because it ended up going all the way down his arm, all the way down his legs. Poor kid had it bad. And the doctors and hospitals and all that, they did every test in the book, and they're like, we have no idea what is going on. We just have to keep putting it down to an allergic reaction to a bite that has now become infected or something. So they're pumping him with antibiotics and IVs and all this other shit, just trying to get him to come normal. And while he was like on all that shit, he would come normal, but then he would go straight back to how he was. But yeah, crazy shit. I could not believe she said that. And I had a couple of stories from the hospital. I don't even know if these are going to be good stories, but fuck it. It's been a quiet week besides my week in comedy, which we're going to get to, ladies and gentlemen. But we get moved to a bed, okay? It's Thursday afternoon. Okay. We'll have to dip a little bit into the week of comedy right here. As we all knew, I flew out to Newcastle on Friday morning for some comedy gigs down there. And Thursday afternoon comes around. It's about 11 o'clock or so. I finish work at 1:30. Nikita texts me and she's like, I've got to take him back up to hospital. He's not looking good again. So I've messaged her and I've gone, okay, I'll meet you there as soon as I finish, because I figured until I finish, they're going to be in the waiting room anyway. So I was exactly right. By the time I finished, I get up there, he's in a bed, and we start having the chats. I'm like, fuck, I really don't want to go to Newcastle while he's in hospital, all this shit. So I'm getting ready to pull out of the gigs, which was the last thing in the world I wanted to do, okay? We all know how long I've waited to get on at this club, but obviously parenting comes first. And Nikita, hats off to her. She was of the mindset of whatever happens, you're going to Newcastle, whether he's having an operation or whatever. Which, like, I never would have done. Just let's get that out in the air. Anyway, the doctors and stuff see him. We end up getting out of there at like 5 o'clock. But while we're in the hospital, we get moved to a bed and we're sitting there and P's like, oh, can I watch the TV? I'm like, yeah, no worries at all. I know my way around a hospital. So I pick up the little TV remote that's on the lead and I'm pushing the buttons. And for some reason, the remote is not connecting to the TV. Now, for those that aren't familiar with hospital TVs and remotes, they're connected to the wall with this big, thick white cord, right? And I'm pushing everything. I'm tapping it, thinking maybe something in there has come loose. And I've gone, oh, okay, I'll just pull this out and reconnect it. So I've pulled the remote out of the wall and all of a sudden the nurse bell above the bed starts going off. There's like flashing lights above the bed, like as if there's an emergency. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm trying to plug it back in. I plug the cord back in and I'm like, oh, maybe if I hit the nurse button again, it'll just shut all this off. But I hit the nurse button again. It just reactivates everything. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking awkward right now. The nurse comes running in. She's like, oh my God, what's wrong? I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just pulled the remote out of the wall. And she was looking at me as if to say, why the fuck would you even do that, dickhead? And I looked at her as if to say, I have no idea, okay? I have no idea why I did that. I'm just a stupid fucking dad. But anyway, before he got released, I don't know about you guys. I like my doctors old. They just buy the book. They come in. They go, all right, sir. How's the weather? Like a bit of small talk like that's okay. I hate these fucking new age doctors that they slide on into your room in their sketches and they just have to like make all this small talk and just do all this cool shit to your kid. Like they think they're like a modern day Blippy. Like Blippy in a lab coat is what they think they are. Anyway, this guy's having all this fun with P. He's trying to be this new age doctor, using all this like lingo, like skibbity riz. I'm like, dude, just tell me what the fuck is wrong with my kid. Anyway, then he gets into his serious mode, but his serious mode is still not serious enough for me because he's looking at his clipboard and he's like, yeah, so basically we're pretty stunned as to what's going on. And I'm like, okay, so what's happening? He's like, and he looks at me, he puts his clipboard down a little bit and he goes, you know, every now and then in the children's ward, I don't mind me a bit of a zebra. And I've looked at him as if to say, what the fuck does that even mean? And he goes, but you guys have yourself a little zebra there in that bed. And I've gone, what does that even mean? I go, is my son turning into a fucking zebra? I had no idea what this bloke was talking about. And he just proceeds to say, so yeah, basically we don't know what's going on. So we're just going to send you home, play it by ear and just book a doctor's appointment in a week and see how he goes. And I've gone, wow, thank you so much, Doc. You have been an amazing help today. But yeah, fuck that guy. Last awkward moment of the week before we rip into my week in comedy. I got in a lift I don't even, actually, it was in a hotel room at Newcastle. I don't know. It was in my trip. Airport, hotel room, somewhere. I jump in, and then another lady follows me, and then another lady follows her. Now, I hit level 7, okay? The lady that got in after me hits level 6. The lady after her, I don't know if she was in an Ash situation where she just felt awkward, so she had to make a move. She had to do something in her head. She's reached down and hit level 5, okay? The elevator door's shut. We proceed to go up. Obviously, we get to level 5 first. The doors open, and the three of us just remain standing in the lift. None of us walk out of the lift doors. And we're all looking at each other, and then me and the lady that hit 6 and 7 start looking at the lady that hit 5 as if to say, are you going to fucking get out? Like, this is your level. Then the doors shut again. The three of us are still in the lift looking at each other, confused as fuck. We get to level 6, and then the two girls get out together. What? Why did you hit level 5, lady? Why did you add additional time to this lift ride when we didn't need that? I genuinely think she must have just felt so awkward she had to do something. Like, she must have gone to reach for 6 and then noticed it was already lit up. So she's just hit 5 and just tried her luck, hoping that she could just fly under the radar. But I genuinely hope she had a terrible rest of the day. She fucked up my day. But yeah, last thing to touch on. I wake up this morning, okay? I wake up. I'm driving to do my cabinet making job. I'm listening to a few podcasts, and I get through my normal Monday podcasts, okay? Now, every now and then, the Alpha Blokes release a guest episode on a Monday, okay? Anyone that listens to Australian podcasts, pretty familiar with that. This guest episode was Brizzy from the Deadass podcast. Shout out to Brizzy. And Buster Kirby from the Two Flogs podcast and various other avenues. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll throw this on while I'm driving home because I had nothing else to listen to. And I'm listening. I get about 15, 20 minutes into the episode. All of a sudden, big old Buster starts bringing up the unofficial Podcast Royale 2.0 breakdown that me and the boys did, Ty Avery and Matty Carvosso. I'm sure you guys went and listened to it because we got some pretty good downloads on that. And all of a sudden, he starts praising Ty. He starts shouting out the Roads We've Walked podcast. And hey, hats off to Ty. Fucking absolute weapon, killing the game. I put my hand up. If you guys are listening to this, like he's a guest on the episode. Again, you guys have probably listened to it. And funny thing about that, Ty actually picked Buster to win the fight, okay? Okay. Oddly suspicious that Buster's on his side now. Then all of a sudden, big old Buster gets to me and Matty, who picked Goxie, a lovable Australian comedian who went viral back in the day, like back when viral videos were first just kicking off. He was one of the first Australian viral video comedians, I would say, if I had to throw a dart. But yeah, if you don't know who Aaron Gox is, go check him out. Hilarious as fuck and just pounding the Australian comedy scene night after night. I actually think he's doing a few spots at the moment for Base down the Gold Coast that, I do regular spots with. So he's in the area, guys. Go check him out. Anyway, Matty and I have picked Goxie for this fight, which must have got under Kerb's collar a little bit because all of a sudden, old Kerb starts shitting on me and Matty. Matty's partner, Amy, does a lot of Kerb's tattoos, and he's going, I'm going to have to find a new tattoo artist. Fuck these guys, blah, blah, blah. And then he starts on me. Now, let's pull back the curtain a little bit, okay? Let's pull back the curtain. Buster did a gig for me a couple of years ago. Back when we were doing the Beanley Rum Distillery. I got Buster on as a comedian. He came up, did a set. That was that. And then he was doing a show a couple of weeks later. He goes, hey, I liked your set at your gig. Do you want to come down to, where's he fucking from? Mawillimbar or something? He goes, do you want to come down and do a set down there? I go, yeah, sounds good, mate. Now, both those times he said my name with no issues. Jimmy Misson or James Misson. No dramas. When he brought me on stage, James Misson. But for some reason in his big facade that he wanted to play up on the Alpha Blokes podcast this morning, he started calling me like Jimmy Misen and all these fucking weird things, which I know he knows how to fucking say my name. Okay? Buster Corby. Anyway, then he starts going, oh, fucking, we don't even know who these blokes are. They're shit, yada, yada, yada. And then again, keeps slurping on the cock of Ty, which, hey, I'm envious of. I would love to slurp the cock of Ty. But then he proceeds, he goes, hey, when I make it through Goxie in a couple of weeks at the podcast 2.0, I'm coming straight for this Jimmy Misen guy for next year's podcast Royale. And can I just say, Buster, you do not want this fucking smoke. I'm half your size. You weigh upwards of 250 kilos. I would literally skip fucking rings around you. I would put money. I was about to throw a dollar figure out there, but I know this will come back to bite me. Curb, I will put money on I would get you out of there within one round. Without a fucking doubt. I would destroy you. It would not even be a competitive competition. I said this, again, like I said earlier, my phone has been blowing up going, did you hear Curb call you out on the fucking Alpha Blokes? Yeah, I fucking heard it. And it's got under my collar a little bit because he knows. He knows he would have fucking nothing on me. Anyway, I said this in a group chat. I go, if Aaron Gox, for whatever reason, there has been a lot of rumours flying around that he's not going to make it to fight night this year. He's not training properly. He's not going to show up, yada, yada, yada. I said on the breakdown, Goxie's going to rock up. He's going to take this opportunity by the balls and he's going to make the most of it. Now, if for whatever reason he does fall through, I have it in good faith. I've heard along the grapevine that Jimmy Judge, the extreme food eating champion that is taking the internet by storm at the moment. He was actually supposed to come on last week as a guest. It fizzled out. We're going to do it when he gets back from his announced like an Australia tour in a van. So that episode is still coming. Now I have it in good authority that Jimmy Judge is going to be at the podcast Royale 2.0. If Goxie doesn't show up, this is my challenge to Curb. I will go to KFC. I will do an eating challenge with Jimmy Judge. I will smash 2 large Zinger boxes, and then within 10 minutes of finishing those 2 large boxes, beating Jimmy Judge at his own game, I will step in the ring and I will beat the absolute fuck out of you with 2 Zinger boxes in my stomach, which won't even come close to amounting whatever the fuck you have going in that stomach of yours. Oh, God. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am so keen for next year's fucking podcast Royale. Because if somehow Curb makes it through Goxie and he does live to his word and he calls me out in the post-fight interview, I'm fucking ready. I will do this. And hey, you just let me know. Do I need to come up to your weight? Do you need to come down to my weight? What do we need to do? Or are we going to do catch weight? Are you going to fight me at my current weight and I'll fight you at your current weight? But Jesus Christ, hey, buddy, I've seen the posts you've put up of you hitting the bag. Oh my God. I say on the podcast regularly, me and my 8-year-old wrestle pretty hard. Now, my 4-year-old hits harder than you were hitting that bag. Jesus Christ, the bag was barely even moving. It was barely even swaying. I think the only reason that bag was swaying was from the fan that was behind you. Jesus Christ. Anyway, put things in perspective. Let's calm down. Yeah, I genuinely would love to fucking step in the ring with Curb and knock him the fuck out, okay? Put it out there. I mentioned back when I started doing solo episodes, I was like, there was a big podcaster who locked in to do this podcast 3 times, okay? Receipts. I've got receipts. I've got messages. I've got fucking everything. 3 times that I had them locked in to come as a guest. At one of the points, I had to lock in Ash and Adrian to come to the studio on a day we don't normally record because I had him lined up. Pulled out all 3 times, okay? What? Am I saying he's going to do that with our fight as well? He's going to make these big calls and then back out of the fight moments before? 100%. Because like I said, he does not want this fucking smoke. But This is my fantasy. This is legitimately my fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. I am living out my UFC dream. And this, hey, I'm just getting the hang of all this trash talk stuff. You know what I mean? By the time that comes around, I'm going to be the king of trash talk. Conor McGregor is going to have fucking nothing on me. Conor McGregor is going to be watching my press conferences with his little notebook, writing notes as to how the fuck to shit talk someone. Because Jesus Christ, you do not want this, Buster. You do not fucking want this, okay? And that's all I'll say on this for now. Let's rip into my week in comedy. My week in comedy is actually a segment that Buster Kirby can't do because he is yet to string together a week of comedy. 2025, how many gigs you done this year, Buster? Two gigs or something? Oh, I'm training real hard for the fucking podcast royale. Bullshit. So's Goxie, and he's on the road every fucking day. So's Andrew Hamilton, who is on a fucking sellout Australia tour and pounding Melbourne International Comedy Festival at the moment, multiple shows a night. Again, I'm just going to reiterate. He's fucking ground my gears, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm fucking coming for him. Anyway, Newmarket Hotel. A gig that, we're done. We're done with the trash talking, okay? Let's rip back into what should be a happy and fun-loving episode 150. Newmarket Hotel, sit-down comedy club. This was on the Monday, and as I said earlier in the episode, I had to rush Parker up to the hospital on Monday. We're sitting there at the hospital, and it was like, okay, I'm going to have to pull out of this gig. Again, Nikita goes, nah, just fucking go get it done. Like, we're sitting here, no point both of us sitting here staring at these four walls. I'll stay here with P. Westy went to Mum's, and then you go do your gig. Hopefully you get on early and you can come straight back. So I head up to the gig, and straight away I check in, and I was like 8th on the lineup or something like that. And I was like, fuck, like can't really make that work. So I started talking to some of the other comedians that I knew ahead of me in the lineup, and hats off to them. All three guys that I hit up, all of them said, yeah, we'll swap with you. And so yeah, Cam Standen, Jared Fitzpatrick, and Scotty K from Gympie. So I've met Scotty a couple of times. He was 3rd on the lineup. So I hit him up. I go, mate, I know you've got a big drive back to Gympie after this, but if there's any way you could swap with me, I would be the most appreciative person in the world. And yeah, full credit to him. He goes, yeah, 100%. Whatever you need to do. He's like, I was going to stick around a little bit and watch the rest of the show anyway. So shout out to Scotty K. Go give him a follow. Tell him Jimmy from the Can't Get Any Worse podcast said thank you. And he owes you his 3rd born child, which I'm not having one, ladies and gentlemen. So we're pretty safe there. But anyway, we got past that. Now, the MC gets up, and the audio in the Newmarket on Monday, I don't know what was up. It just was not syncing. It was echoey. It was awful. You couldn't really hear anything. Just terrible stuff. So the whole opening bracket from the MC was just him acknowledging that, I suppose, and just making fun of it a little bit while the sound tech was trying to fine-tune it. Now, I would have thought that once the sound tech got everything somewhat okay, then the MC would rip into at least 5 minutes material or so to get the crowd ready. Because up until then, it was like no material. It was just literally playing on the sound. Sound tech goes, all right, we're good to go. And he just brings the first act straight up. Just a cold open. Now, the first act and the second act, I don't think I've ever seen the first act before, so I think they're like fresh, like new. Second act, I think that was the second time I've seen him, which I think he's relatively new as well. Now, between the MC and the first 2 acts, the room was it was cold. I was not looking forward to going up there 3rd, but then in the back of my head, I was like, hey, maybe I'll be the saving grace. Maybe I'll be the savior we all need. So I get up there, and on the way to the show, I'm like, I want to try a new joke. I'm sick of just relying on all these old jokes. But as soon as I got to the gig and I saw how cold it was, I'm like, oh, I started to shell up. I'm like, nah, just go do a safe set. But luckily, had a little chat to myself. I go, nah, it's fucking pointless. Like, get up there and you're going to bomb anyway. So you might as well bomb on new material. So I got up there, tried this new joke. Didn't go too bad. Like, started on 2 old jokes. They didn't go well. Then I did the new joke. It went better than the first 2 jokes. And then I finished on another old joke and just didn't go that great either. But all in all, pretty shocking gig. So wrapped that one up and then, drove back to the hospital and I chilled out with P and Nikita until it was home time. But then the big one for the week, let's rip into Newcastle. Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. Let me scroll down here. I don't know if anyone's watching on YouTube, but I'm scrolling the hardest possible way right now. Like my hand is backwards for some reason. I don't know why I did that much to myself. But let's kick it off. Basically, I got offered this gig because the original person that was booked in pulled out for another gig. And Brian Freeman, who is a hilarious comedian in the scene, he has cerebral palsy, okay? And he is just an absolute fucking crusher. He opened for Jim Jeffries on his last Australian tour. And as soon as he goes, hey, do you want to come to Newcastle with me? I was like, fucking lock me in. I am there no matter what. I would have done the gigs for free. Now, straight off the bat, those 2... So I booked the weekend, Friday, Saturday. Those 2 gigs are the most I've been paid for comedy besides like running my own gigs, if that makes sense. Absolutely blew my mind what they were offering me to come and do comedy. So that was sick straight off the bat. And he sends me the itinerary, the hotel and the flights. Straight off the bat, I'm freaking the fuck out, okay? I like my own space. The hotel room that was booked was a single bedroom, like a single room with 2 single beds. Now, I would have absolutely hated that. But up until the day of, I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to push through. The other thing, the flights had no checked-in baggage. So I would have had to have lived off 3 days of 7 kilos. And I just was like I'm an overpacker to the max. I'm like, what if I need fucking the roadcaster down there? I'm packing everything. So the night before I freaked out and I booked checked baggage. Like leading up to it, I'm like, I'm going to live the ultimate comic road dream. I'm going to like rough it. And I was just like, I bitched it on both fronts. So I got down there. We were literally checking in and I looked at Brian. I go, hey, how would you like your own room for the weekend? And he's like, I guess. And I'm like, yeah, I'll pay for my own room. I don't need anything from you. Let's lock it in. So we both got our own rooms, which I think we both appreciated. We both liked peeling off and he had some stuff he wanted to do, booking some shows and stuff. I had some editing and some writing I wanted to try get done. But the other thing, this was actually scaring me. I don't even know if this is illegal, and I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but fuck it. The ticket was booked under someone else's name, and apparently it was just going to be such a rigmarole to rebook it under someone's name. So the whole time going through the airport, I had to pretend I was someone else. And like, as I checked in, the lady's like, what's your last name? I almost said mine, and then I had to be like, oh, actually it's this. So yeah, I don't know. Everyone stresses about how hectic security is at planes, but I literally made it through pretending I was someone else. But I don't know. I don't know if I just incriminated myself, but fuck it. No one listens anyway. So yeah, we get to Newcastle. We get to the hotel where the hotel is, and first impressions, I did not like Newcastle. I did not think it was good. It seemed dirty and run down and gross. I said this on the vlog that I recorded. It felt like somebody had given Logan $1 billion, like the suburb that I'm from, and just gone, hey, have your best attempt at becoming a small city. And that's what Newcastle felt like. Now, we check into the hotel, we dump our bags. Brian goes, oh, let's go for a walk down to the beach. And I'm like, okay, sweet. Now, as soon as we got like 2 blocks from the hotel room, I'm just met by this incredibly beautiful city, okay? It was amazing. Blew my mind how close that little city was to the beach, like along the water. And I just instantly fell in love. Like I could genuinely see myself living there if something happened one day. But yeah, last little thing before we rip into the gigs, I had to change rooms because I checked into the first one and straight away I go to the toilet and the bathroom light is like a fucking strobe light. And I was like, I cannot do that for 3 days. I hesitated so much to go down to reception and say, hey, can we get someone to come fix this? And like the receptionist was not the nicest lady, okay? She was just like an abrupt bitch, to put it nicely. And she's like, oh, okay, the maintenance guy doesn't start till 4, so I'll send him straight up. We get to like 4:30. I still don't have a knock on my door. So I go down. I go, hey, what's happening with my room? And she goes, oh, I'll just change rooms. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. So I had to change rooms, which seemed like more of a fuck around for me than her, because all she had to do was give me the key for the next room. But Jesus Christ. I feel like I had something else on that. But anyway, let's rip into the gigs. Let me scroll back down here. So yeah, Friday, Saturday night at the Newcastle Comedy Club. Holy fucking shit. Hats off to the 3 boys in Newcastle that just had the balls to go and start a club in what would not necessarily be deemed a comedy scene. Again, they're young as fuck. Like, I don't know the boys well enough yet, but I don't think any of them are over the age of 30, like looking at them. And one of them got up both nights, absolute fucking crusher, annihilated the room. It was sick. And Friday night I walk in and probably, I don't know, 50 people, 60 people maybe. But the club is nice. It's a nice, tight upstairs room, and it felt good and full. Now, I was like, okay, I was nervous. Then the comedy show started, and everybody was just crushing. The MC got up. He was annihilating. And I was like 4th, I think. And I don't know why I was just so nervous. I think because I wanted to impress him so bad. And I got up there, and look, I know I've said this a couple of times this year, and I don't know if I'm just in a good stride, but I would put that Friday night down as easily the best show that I've had in 2025, but it would be in strong competition with the best comedy show I've ever been a part of. It was absolutely insane. Every single joke, every single tag, everything was just crushing, like pausing so long for laughter to stop. And like the big thing for me is I got like 2 to 3 jokes in, okay? And I knew I had the audience where I needed them. So then I just started looking over the audience, and I was looking at the 3 club owners and the MC that all 4 of them I wanted to impress. And I was just watching them piss their pants at what I was saying. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I think I've just found a new comedy home. Absolutely unreal. And then Saturday night comes around. So I'm on a high, okay? I could not think anything could get any better. Saturday night comes around. We get a message in the group chat with the new lineup. Pretty well the same lineup, just with a couple of changes. I think 2 changes. And the room runner goes, oh, it's a sold-out show tonight as well. So I've gone, holy fuck, I did not think we could top last night. We walk in there, and I get told sold out is like, I don't know, 80 to 100 people. I don't even know how many were crammed in there, but what seemed like a full room the night before now seemed empty as fuck. There were people packed in there like sardines, and it was insane. Now, I also noticed in the group chat, I was now opening the show, which I freaked the fuck out about, because my stuff is hit and miss when you open. It can either come out of the gate too strong and dirty, or it can set the night to be awesome. Now, I was freaking out, and Brian goes, well, no, look at it as a good thing. Obviously, they saw your set last night, and they're confident enough that you can now set the standard of the show and just open with a bang. So I got a little bit of confidence under my belt. I get up there. Still an absolute fucking cracking set. I crushed, if I do say so myself. The only thing I did notice, which I got off stage and I felt a little bit shitty about, but everyone was like, shut the fuck up. You were the biggest idiot in the world. A couple of my little tags in the jokes that were getting big laughs on the Friday night weren't really getting much on the Saturday night. And I don't know. I think I was just riding the wave of Friday, and I was like, oh, every gig ever now is just going to be an absolute crush fest. But yeah, still absolutely 2 of the best gigs I've ever done. And then to cap off the weekend, everything that I wanted to go down there for, I go to say goodbye to the club owner. I go, thanks for the spots, genuinely appreciate it. And he goes, mate, whenever you're in town, or if you just want to fly down, just message us. You got spots here whenever you want. And I was like, fuck yes, that is what I wanted to hear. That is what I wanted to lock in. So yeah, if you are in the Newcastle area or if you're fucking visiting or whatever, go check out the Newcastle Comedy Club. Genuinely one of the best clubs I have been in to date. Now, let's rip into Turns Out It Can Get Worse. We're running close on time. But that's okay. If we go a little bit over for 150, then so be it. Now, I thought it would only be fair. I stumbled across this yesterday. Now, Adrian, Ash and I teased back in the day that we recorded a couple of podcasts just for fun. We didn't release them in the early days. I thought I would play episode 1 of what we recorded.
Look at this.
Crazy. You are crazy for fun.
Crazy.
What's your guys' favorite facial expressions? I'll go first. Mine's the tough guy one. Oh, this is a new one. The Hector Salamanca. Hector Salamanca from Breaking Bad.
That's literally dank.
Thank you very much for saying that. You're so nice.
Bing, 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 bing,
Bang, bang, dag.
Kaiser, what is your favorite face?
I like being crazy. I like doing crazy face. I'm like,
Oh, okay. I'm actually at a bit of a loss for words.
I very understand.
Yeah.
My favorite face is the Inquisitor. That's what I call this face.
that's a good one.
That's a very good face.
It's because, I sometimes will use a lot of Reddit, and while I'm browsing on there, I use that face to let the other people know that I'm smart in the brains of MLG.
Oh, well, let's just say that you got the point across.
So that was episode 1 of the Can't Get Any Worse podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's out there in the open now. And hey, let's get this off the bat. I'm not ripping on the poor kids. I genuinely want to go listen to that podcast. I think it would be an absolute fucking cracking chat. But yeah, I just stumbled across it and I was like, that is too good. Now, again, for those of you in the podcasting community, this is not supposed to be out there, okay? This is something that I stumbled across. In all fairness, Buster Kirby's trainer sent it to me. And he goes, look, I know Curbs has called you out. I thought I'd send you a bit of a video of his training just so you can see where he's at. And then he proceeded to send me this clip. Now, it has got me a little bit worried just straight off the bat. Oh. Jesus Christ, Curb. Now, I know that's not Curb, okay? Because that guy had about 20 pumps in him. I know for a fact, from good fucking authority, Curb is he's got about 3 pumps in him and then he's done, okay? I can't say where I've heard that from, okay? It was Paul Mamone. Paul Mamone, ex-guest of the podcast. They made sweet love one night. But anyway, hey, let's shout this one out to Curb as well. If for whatever reason I don't knock him out on the night, here's a little bit of a sleep hack for him. So the caption is, when I can't fall asleep, I just use my massage gun on my temple until I faint. So here you go, Curb. Here's a little tutorial. I don't know why that tickled my fancy so much, but it just, like, when people do dumb shit like that, it just makes me so fucking happy. Why would you knock yourself out like that? Now, we touched on some cool kids at the start of this, but these kids take the cake. These are the coolest kids on the internet at the moment. I'll give them a shout out. So their tag on Instagram is Riz Inspires, okay? Now, this is a couple of young guys, like taste testing and all that. It's a big thing on the internet these days. Now, these guys have taken the cake. Let's see, what are they taste testing here? They both got something in their hands.
In terms of, if you want a sweeter, more
I think
fun.
the meatball's got. It is fun.
If you're looking
fun.
for more fun,
Yeah.
you go for this one.
Okay.
And if you try the mint a few times and you go, you know what, that might not be our jazz. This is a summertime condom. The
Condom?
mint one Christmas time, it's festive.
100%.
You've got your mood on a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh my God. Okay, so for those listeners, they have flavored condoms and they're slurping the flavor off them, doing taste test reviews on condoms. Just a couple of condom connoisseurs right there. Oh, but go check it out. That's not the only video they do. They have many videos of them tasting different flavored condoms. Oh, but that's brought us to the end of Turns Out It Can Get Worse. Couple of quick things to touch on things that I've looked at this week or things that have piqued my interest. I'm just going to touch on these very briefly now because, like I said, we're running out of time. Chris Lilley, the king of Australian comedy, is back. Now, when he announced this last week, I was on top of the world. I was like, fuck yes. He started sending out little teasers of Mr. G. Everyone was like, Mr. G is getting his own spin-off series. This is going to be amazing. It has now come out that it's just going to be a Mr. G podcast, which Chris Lilley has done the Jamae podcast, and I listened to that. It had funny moments, but you just can't beat like a TV series of watching them. So I'm going to listen to it this week. I think the first episode's out now, so I'll probably give a bit more of an in-depth review next week. This one, I'm obsessed with this story this year. The Luka Doncic, holy fuck, I'm fucking that up. The Luka story, being traded to the Lakers. He had his first game back in Dallas this week. All the interviews were of him going, I don't know how I'm going to react. I don't know if I'm going to be happy. I don't know if I'm going to be sad. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, part of me thinks that the Dallas Mavericks heard that and they wanted to troll him a little bit. So what they've done is they've put together one of the nicest montages you will ever see of Luka's career at the Mavericks, just dropping all these points, all his career highlights. And I think they were trying to mentally fuck with him. They switch camera to Luka, who is sitting there bawling his eyes out. Obviously, all these memories are flooding back to him, and I think the Mavericks have gone, yes, we have fucking crushed his soul before the game. We've got this motherfucker in the bag. Little do they know that was going to remind Luka at what an absolute fucking beast he was, and he just went out there and he dropped 45 against his old team. 45 points against your old team has to feel amazing. But yeah, shouts out to Luka. I genuinely hope the Lakers make it to the finals this year. Then the last thing, Kill Tony made its debut on Netflix, and I absolutely loved it, okay? One thing I will say is I felt like everybody involved felt the pressure of it being on Netflix. Usually when you watch it, there's these throwaways. Everyone's just at the seat of their pants, just throwing things in the air, hoping it sticks. Whereas I felt this time a lot of the people were they were holding back on what they would normally say. In saying that, it was still your good old-fashioned Kill Tony episode, which I know everyone was freaked out about, that he was going to go all woke and fucking stop saying shit. But Shane Gillis was on there. He's still unleashed. There was still everyone throwing around the word retarded, gay, all the no words, okay? Go check it out. Absolutely hilarious episode. And the last thing I wanted to touch on real quick, UFC 314 yesterday in Miami. We did the breakdown. We won't fucking talk about it. I dipped my toe back in the world of underdogs, okay? I thought we would have had a couple. Bad day on the punt, but it is what it is. I will start with John Silver or Gene Silver, however the fuck you say his name. He came out and he proved that he is definitely the next prospect in that division. He came out and put an absolute clinic on Bryce Mitchell. Now, I was heavily reliant on Bryce Mitchell getting it to the ground and just wrestling the fuck out of him, but it did not go that way. For whatever reason, Bryce Mitchell wanted to stay on the feet, maybe to prove himself, and then fucking Silver ended up taking it to the floor and choking out Bryce Mitchell, which hats off to him. I'm on the train. You got me, mate. I'm a fan now. Exact same frame of mind, I suppose. Paddy Pimblett, you've got my attention. I will never doubt you again. I have doubted you every fight you have had, and to come out and put the absolute beating on Michael Chandler that you did, unreal. In the back of my mind, yes, I did see him winning, and I thought if he did win, it would be a ground out decision. I 110% did not envision him destroying Michael Chandler, absolutely making a mess of his face. I've never seen Michael Chandler that bloody before, and Paddy Pimblett, He could be the next champ. And he said all the right things at the end of it. Called out the top 4, called them all out one by one. And then even after, in the press conference, he did it. He called out Conor McGregor. He goes, look, we all know you're not going to come back, but if you want to come back, I'm fucking here. Let's have a big UK brawl. And I genuinely hope that happens, not only for Paddy, but for Conor as well. And then the main event, Alexander Volkanovski grinds out the decision win, which was one of the only picks that we got right. But yeah, hats off to him. I was genuinely stoked. I was jumping up in my lounge room, verge of tears, just seeing this bloke grind his way back up after losing his title and getting the win over Diego Lopez, who in his own right is an absolute beast of a fighter. Now, before I get onto the negative, I will just say, as a country, like as Australia, we disagree on so much shit, whether it's Australia Day or fucking politics or just no one seems to be able to agree on absolutely anything. But when it comes to Alexander Volkanovski fighting, on my social media, almost everyone that I follow or whatever posted something about Volk yesterday. Everybody is on the Volk bandwagon. This bloke has brought together a country just on his own back. And it was just such a good moment of fucking an underdog, an Aussie underdog getting up there and winning his belt back and bringing that belt back to Australia. Now, there was teasers of his first defense being in Sydney. I swear to God, if I need to sell this podcasting equipment to get to Sydney for that fight, I will be there. To see an Alexander Volkanovski walk out in person would be absolutely unreal. Now, the negative. The Alexander Volkanovski that we saw yesterday, vintage Volk, okay? He was doing everything right. He looked exactly like the come-up Volk. But in saying that, now this is nothing Volk did, okay? This is nothing that he can help. There were a couple of times in the fight that Lopez had him rocked, it would seem. Now, I know the commentators were like, oh, he may be tripped or things like that. And yeah, maybe. But there were a few scary moments in the fight where he just got clipped with one punch and it was like, are his lights, like, is his chin gone? Because if he comes up against any of the current top 4, like that, they're all fucking vicious animals. And it's got me a little bit worried. I will just say that. I saw him win, and as much as I didn't want this, okay, as much as I would have hated this, I wanted him to win and put his gloves down and go, that's me. I'm going back to my wife and kids as a fucking champion. I'm retiring as a champion. But obviously he's got that bug again. He's now beat the number 1 contender and he's like, I'm back. I'm back for good. He's 37 years old. It's like, and he beat the boogeyman. He beat 2 boogeymans yesterday. He beat the Drake curse, who, anyone that doesn't know that, anyone that Drake normally bets on is guaranteed to lose. Drake bet on Volk and he won. He also beat the curse of anyone over 36 not winning a title from featherweight or below. So here are a couple of wins for him yesterday. Hats off to Volk. Absolutely stoked to see him back as UFC champ. Let's cap it off with a bit of motivation from the man himself. I figured it was only right to have his post-fight speech as the motivational clip for the week. So I'll hit play.
I'm watching. Adversity is a privilege. You hear people talk about that all the time. It truly is. This moment is incredible.
What was it like to have those 2 knockout losses, to have the creeping doubts?
Well, it's an opportunity. You get adversity. If you build yourself back, it's only going to make you stronger, even if it doesn't work out. But a lot of times it does, if you really pursue it. And look what can happen. Break records. This people are going to write books about. This is going to be movies, you know what I mean? Like, that type of that's what it's all about.
Fucking goosebumps, ladies and gentlemen. The king is back. Like, when you see him talk like that after the fight, I hate saying what I just said, but I just don't want to see the knockouts that we've seen. Like, the 2 knockouts, the 2 vicious knockouts, to put it nicely. I do not want to see our man Volk go through that again. But that brings us to the end of episode 150, ladies and gentlemen. Genuinely, again, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's listened, whether you've been here from the start, whether you've started like this week or last week. Thank you to everyone that shared us on social media or at a fucking party or something and just told a friend about it. Honestly appreciate it. We are a small self-funded podcast. No fucking sponsorship, no nothing. Everything in here is self-funded. All the editing, one-man band, unless I really fuck up and then I get Adrian involved. But yeah, thank you. Plugs for the week. Wednesday the 16th, I'll be at the Guilt-Free Cellar again. Thursday the 17th, I'll be at the Henchman down in Miami. So that one's just popped back up. They did comedy there a while ago, so I'm keen to see how that one goes. $100 cash prize on that one as well. So if you are in the Miami area, come cheer as loud as you can for me. Saturday the 26th, we've got the West Park production show at Sunny's at Margate again. Sold out show. We have the next Orion Hotel one locked in, but I will probably start plugging that from next week or the week after because it's still a little while away. Now, May 2nd, I'll be in Moree. That one it's pretty well sold out. I think there's like 2 tickets left. So if you're in the Moree area and you've been waiting, don't wait anymore. You've got to get your tickets like today or they're gone. Now, Dubbo, we need some help on. If you know anyone in Dubbo, tell them to come or reach out to me or Brian Freeman to get tickets. We need some help in Dubbo. We've sold a good number of tickets. Like it's going to be a good show, but we want both shows to be sold out. We want to make like the drive worth it, if that makes sense. So at the moment, we have enough numbers to make it a decent show, but we want to pack that motherfucker out. And not only for it to be a sick show, but to show the venue we're not here to fuck spiders. But other than that, send submissions via DM on Instagram at CantGetAnyWorsePodcast or via email at CantGetAnyWorsePod@gmail.com. I hope you all have a splendid Easter. I think it's Easter week. I don't know. According to my calendar, it's Easter this week. So yeah, have a good Easter. Everyone wind down. Look after yourselves. And I appreciate you guys listening. I'm just fucking rambling now. So I will see you later.
Can't get